Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. Good morning, esteemed dignitaries, distinguished guests, and respected participants. A very warm welcome to this significant session on unlocking Assam's energy potential, future-ready oil and gas infrastructure, innovation and investment aligned with global energy transitions. Assam's energy and landscape discuss key policy initiatives and identify opportunities for investment and innovation in the oil and gas sector. We have an esteemed lineup of speakers and panelists who will share their insights on shaping the future of Assam's energy ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, for this session, we are truly honored to have here with us the and our Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Honorable Union Minister. Sir. We'd also like to welcome the Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Department, Government of Assam, Shri Kaushik Rai sir. And I'd like to request the Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals to felicitate the Honorable CM. To commence this session, it is my honor to invite Shri Kaushik Rai, Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Department, Assam, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Union Minister Sri Hardeep Puri ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam Sri Dr. Biswa Sarma ji, esteemed dignitaries, industry leaders, faculty members, students and media friends. It is my privilege to welcome you today on Assam's growing role in the energy sector. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma ji, Assam is emerging as a major investment destination as reflected the remarkable success of Advantage Assam 2.0, where significant MOUs have been signed, including in hydrocarbon sectors. Assam, the cradle of India's oil industry, has long played a crucial role in ensuring the nation's energy security. Today, as the world transition towards sustainable energy, Assam is modernizing its infrastructure, investment position. With four major refineries, Numaligarh, Digboi, Guwahati and Bongaigaon, the projects like the Numaligarh refinery expansion, which will increase capacity from 3 MMTPA to 9 MMTPA, Assam is forming into a key energy hub. Additionally, the Northeast is to enhance gas connectivity, promoting cleaner food. Resources with the focus on sustainable and environmental stewardship. Under the able leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma ji, we are implementing a approach that includes encouraging private investment to accelerate infrastructure development, promoting R&D in oil recovery, gasification, and alternative fuels, integrating AI and digital technologies to optimize operations. The government of Assam, under the decisive leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, has proactively removed restrictions on test oils and gas productions, enabling early monetization and increased revenues. The Mines and Minerals Department of the state's second largest revenue earns 85% of its revenue from oil and gas, and the recent auction of limestone blocks expected to generate an additional 400 to keep Assam's and India's energy transition while maintaining its legacy as an oil and gas powerhouse. I extend my sincere gratitude to Sri Pureji, Honorable Minister of Petroleum, Government of India, for his invaluable presence today and look forward to his guidance. Lastly, I want to acknowledge the Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, whose vision has led to success of Assam 2.0. I invite investors, industry experts, and a sustainable and energy secure state. Thank you. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Jai Assam.
We're now going to have an MOU exchange between the Government of Assam and ONGC, and I would like to request Mr. Ajay Tiwari, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Assam, and Mrs. Shushma Rawat, Director Exploration, to please kindly come forward for the exchange. I'd also like to request the Chairman of ONGC, please kindly join for the We now move on to an insightful fireside chat featuring Shri Hardeep Singh Puri ji, Honorable Union Minister of Natural Resources, discussing the impact of recent policy advancements such as the Oil Regulation and Development Act and the open acreage licensing policy in boosting domestic oil and gas production, especially in the Northeast. And to begin this, I would like to request Shri Kaustav Verma, Managing Director and Partner Board of the Union Minister.
A very warm welcome to everyone on unlocking Assam's energy potential, building a future-ready oil and gas infrastructure, innovation, and investment aligned with global transition. Start this session with a very chat with a very special guest amidst us. A warm welcome to the Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Esteemed. Honorable Minister, it is an absolute privilege to have you with us. And before we start the fireside chat, I think many of these things you will already know, but for the benefit of the audience, and a very young audience, I want to share a few facts about India's energy revolution over the last decade. India's petroleum consumption has increased to 234 million metric ton, which is 50% over the last decade. Now, this has been on the back of an exemplary increase in all forms of energy and infrastructure. The natural gas pipeline has increased to 25,000 kilometers, 50,000 kilometers. The number of CNG stations has increased to 730 May 2014, plus, even the PNG connections have increased fivefold, from 5 billion in 2014 to 13.9 million at present. And may I add that we are now a North Star in terms of our biofuel blending program, which is already close to touching 20%, as I understand, sir. Honorable Minister, first of all, a big thank you from all of us, consumers, service providers, and future generations, many of whom are today, for the fantastic journey. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I feel privileged to be here. And let me start by paying tribute to the Chief Minister. Many years ago, I'm now an old man, so I have to reminisce. When I was first taken into the cabinet, I was Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs for something like 7 years, I think. And I went for a conference in Indore. It was a 3 hours conference. And since I speak a little Japanese, after a long career, I had a visiting Japanese counterpart. And evening, what did you do? So he said, I went around town looking for something. So then he explained to me, since we were talking about the Swachhata and the sanitation program, and I said, how did you fare? He said, I couldn't find any. And Indore, the for all. Why am I mentioning that? Because my comment after the press was, somebody asked me, what does it take to maintain that high standard? You need a good municipal commissioner, you need and government support. And of course, I added at that point of time, Chief Minister, but when I come to Assam, and this is one of many visits to the Northeast, I can tell you the history of the Northeast, the history of this part of the world to exploration is a long story. You remember Dig Boy? Dig Boy Dig. But today, when you look at the current figures, and I try to use my own 15% of the contribution, that's not why I pay tribute to a dynamic Chief Minister. You can't have a meeting with him without him having a wish list of ye refinery ka expansion karna, IOCL, they need something, but you know, this guy is also a trader. So he has skin in the game, but that's what states should be doing. I have no doubt that figures I'm seeing on Advantage Assam, the kind of commitment. I just ran into my friend Naresh Prehan, a childhood friend of mine. His brother and I were in short pants. They're setting up a big hospital here. This is what it's all about. Northeast is growing, but this is what this event is about. And I can tell you, there is no other road to success and Atmanirbharta than what is happening here. You need to grow, utilize your potential, utilize it to its maximum. This thing. Sorry for this slightly long this thing. Let me come to your specific comments, and if I just make 1 or 2 comments on that.
Sure.
Any country, and I don't mean just India, will be assessed in terms of its economic performance by its energy utilization. Sure. I used to say some months ago that energy is the backbone of the economy or the lifeline of the economy. Look at it. Today, if energy consumption is slowing or declining, it's a sure sign that economic performance is, beginning to put up some red flags. India, in the 3.5 years of my being associated with this ministry, our oil consumption, crude oil consumption, has gone up from 5 million barrels a day to 5.5 million barrels. My speaking notes, this will go up to 6.5, 7 million barrels a day. Not in the long future, in the short to medium term. So crude oil consumption will go up 20%, maybe more, 25, 30%. And along with that, you add all the other developments. You mentioned biofuel blending. You know, we had a target of 20% blending. I've been speaking non-stop now for about 3 months, so forgive me, including at India Energy Week. When I come back to that, I was in, doing prachar on the budget, then I was in Punjab yesterday before, and so on. So forgive my throat, but it'll hold. Blending, our target for 20% was 2026. And 19.6% हो गया पिछले महीने, तो अगले महीने 20% तो कर ही लोगे. Any country that can achieve a biofuel blending target 6 years in advance means something is going right there. You talked about CBG. One area which I find is not getting enough attention is green hydrogen. You need two things for green hydrogen. One, you need a demonstrated capacity to bring down the price of clean solar energy, which we've done. We brought it down from 25 cents a unit to 3 cents a unit. And you need electrolyzer. Since the Honorable Prime Minister announced the electrolyzer PLI, Productivity Linked Incentive Scheme, and made a provision for 19,700. Just about every electrolyzer manufacturer in the world today is in India, either jointly with solely, and a lot of young startups. I have youngsters coming to me and saying, sir, I made a membraneless electrolyzer. I went to BPCL, is not here today to see me. He took me in one of the India Energy Weeks thing, where along with Barak, our atomic energy establishment, they utilized a technology which we normally use in our submarine. I'm a former joint secretary in the Defense Ministry because, you know, you need to keep the crew inside a submerged platform, a submarine. The oxygen, so split it and keep the oxygen and get rid of the rest. Fantastic innovation. Of course, it's a pilot project just now. The point I want to make, Mr. Verma, is that India is spending currently something in the vicinity of $150 billion on imports of different forms of energy. Green hydrogen, we have demonstration. We have other forms of collaboration. Somebody asked me, when will green hydrogen take off in a purposeful? I can tell you, today the price of green hydrogen, a lot of people come and give me BS that, sir, बहुत कम कर दिया, ये कर दिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बना दिया, $5, $4. Anybody has got hydrogen per kilo price, 4.5. If you can bring it down, and I'm sure we can, why can we bring it down? Because we've got breakthroughs like pump storage. You bring it down from $4.5 to $2.5, I'll tell you there'll be a revolution of the likes of which the world has never seen. There'll be a massive shift from traditional energy to green hydrogen. And you know, the beauty of green hydrogen is those buses can be plying in Guwahati and to the northeast. All that they emit on the roadside is water vapor. That is the beauty of energy transition. So I think, with all that you've said, absolutely correct. But I think the real revolutionary change is now coming. Why do I say now in terms of a timeline? Two things. One is our ENP has taken off. Full marks to those state governments like Assam and others who are cooperating in 98.2 and others. Little lament, some of our state governments don't realize that they have we are not the petroleum because they are involved in their other thoughts. I'm not going to be political. I'm not going to name any. Not in this. By 20, ENP would have reached a point where all the major players. I had a meeting yesterday with the Exxon chief. The other day, I hosted the British Petroleum entire board for dinner at my residence. We had Chevron. Everyone we've been talking to. And they're all interested in India. So biofuels takes off. Green hydrogen, I think the tipping point will come by 2030. Their target of 5 million metric tons, I think is very conservative. It will shoot up if you can bring the price of green hydrogen down. And biofuels, CPG, etc. I think truly a revolutionary situation on your hand. And that is what will propel India from its $4 trillion economy now to 7 or 10, but well beyond that. Because the kind of entrepreneurial talent you have here, Honorable Chief Minister, I want to pay you a compliment. I know a little bit about organizing these events. We started IEW 3 years ago. And today, it's the second largest platform in the world. But you know what distinguishes a good one, and IEW and this one, is you see young people around. Because that's where, when I went to, as a 4-year-old, to my first exhibition, I was coming in Brussels, as a 4-year-old, it stuck in your mind. What you learned. And let me tell you, we've done a very successful IEW. Next year IEW, the 4th edition, we should invite our participants to that. And the CEOs of all the companies in the world on energy. This is a bigger platform. This is on investment on others, but on an energy platform. If you have all the CEOs, all the ministers from other countries, why can't the and other technology Assam as a is getting I think we just took that decision, and I should you the invitation as a Chief Minister in that.
Fantastic. Minister, on that wonderful anecdote, mentioned that Assam is the hub of ENP activity, and indeed it is. And wanted to get your perspectives on two of the most revolutionary acts recently in the upstream sector. One is the HYDROCARBON, which is the Oil Field Regulation and Development Act, and the other one is OALP. Assam has potential for huge oil and gas reserves. And how will both these acts help the investment of private companies into the sector and other parts of the country?
I don't want to put too many statistics on this. The OALP, it is a large globally at any point of time. Opening up 200,000 plus square kilometers of exploration all offshore in one go. What is the significance of it? We have 3.5 million square kilometers of sedimentary. But what is the point of having the sedimentary basin? What is the point of having all the known reserves of oil and gas if you can't prospect them? So the Honorable Prime Minister took a decision some time ago that after that 3.5 million square kilometers, one we opened up, and let me give you another interesting statistic. In the OALP round 9, 38% of the bids came in this area. This 1 million kilometer. My sense is that OALP round 10, bulk of the bids will come in this area. Now, I will go from statistics to energy reality. You see, I keep telling people that there are many Guyanas waiting to be discovered in the Andaman Sea. Why do I say that? Because it makes sense that if you've got energy oil floating in one part, it will float into the other part. You have to persevere. In offshore drilling, what happens is that sometime an offshore drill, one well may cost what? $100 million? So you take 15 wells, drill, and the case of Guyana, the 17th, then you strike gold. So I think what the Prime Minister started off and what we are now implementing, you just need one Guyana to be discovered. And second thing I want to say, and this is not my criticism, I be cautious about these oil economists who give you forecasts. When I checked it out, in 1956, an economist working with Shell, very bright economist, he said that oil will peak by 2000. No more oil will be required. So a lot of chaos was caused, a lot of people lost a lot of money, a lot of investment stopped. Today, if you ask any economist, a lot of a lot of the discussion amongst the do-gooders, I mean, they're nice guys, these people like my friend, Trump, they're all shifting to clean energy. But in order to make it survive and look at the requirements of an economy like India, growing at 6.5%, 7%, you will continue to use energy. So either you have your green energy available, we are bringing in biofuels, we are going to bring in this thing, but you will need the present. So I think all the decisions that you are taking in Assam or other states are taking to exploit the existing potential are very wise, even as we transit to energy on your effective changes. Look, I just want to make a broad point. The Prime Minister has been always very clear that we need to make it worthwhile for our investors. In 2016, I think we went from production revenue sharing arrangement. We've talked to every possible investor and we've tweaked our law. First of all, we had a ridiculous situation. And mining and petrol was part of the same legislative act of 1991, for this. So now the legislation has passed the Rajya Sabha. I'm very confident in the next few days it will pass the Lok Sabha as soon as that. Many of the doubts that people had, what will happen, is not possible. Under the new legislation, that brings in stability, predictability, and all the asks that the investors.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I think we have time for one more question, and because Assam, which I learned, there is a word called Sangam, which is the confluence of. And Assam truly is the Sangam of many parts of the value chain, like you said. It has the first oil well in Digboy. It has 4 refineries, which are state-of-the-art. How do you see the role of Assam, sir, going forward in the provision of energy security and affordability to the country?
No, I'm not going to be apologetic on this, but I think the trend, and contributing to India's energy security is going to go up and up. I mean, it is contributing 15% of the crude, 14% of the gas. Now I see that going up. But the remarkable thing is that that contribution is increasing whilst the base is increasing. After all, the whole thing, and your rate go from 15% to 18%, 19%. My friends, I'm told by my colleagues, younger ones, to be careful. Look, today there is more and more energy coming onto the global market. If any producers group tries to circumscribe that or control that by saying, no, we don't deal with price, but we only deal with quantity. अरे भाई, 102 million barrels per day से कम करके आपने 97 million barrels per day. But क्या है? Today, the honest God's truth is there's more oil coming on the global market from the Western Hemisphere. By Western Hemisphere, what am I saying? Brazil. They used to produce 3 million, now they're producing another 140,000 barrels a day. Guyana, Suriname, Canada, the US. US is the largest producer. It is 30 million barrels a day. I think President Trump is going to bring another 1.6 million, Pankaj, on the line. So my point is, bhai, jo hai resource, isko abhi utilize karo. Badhao production. And this is my philosophy, because you never know, 10, 20 years from now, people say, all right, here you keep your oil. Why don't you utilize the resource whilst you've got it? So my approach is that. And therefore, I would like to see, because you're asking a context question in the context of Assam, yes. That will be a larger overall philosophy, but Assam, I think it's going to work precisely because of the state pushing and that's a positive thing. I'm not saying it's a negative thing. Some people think negative, but I have another joint secretary from Assam also. I welcome states who are going to push me. My problem comes with states which, in spite of having it, there is one state in which my friend Arun, ONGC chairman, you started many years ago with 3 wells in that state. You've taken 10,000 crores you've already put in there, and they're still not issued the petroleum. What am I saying? I'm naming them so they cannot give me, trolling me later. But you know what the effect will have? Somebody will say, now, Chief Minister is going to announce very soon. So if we miss this opportunity, we miss out on helping our own people. And yet, this thing of states aggressively seeking the center's help, collaborative ventures, foreign investment, that is the model. And that is the model on which the Viksit Bharat Sankalp of the Honorable Prime Minister rests.
Thank you so much. I understand questions in the audience. We will open it up for audience questions. Maybe we'll start with, can somebody just hand over a mic?
And identify yourself so I know where the question is.
Yes.
Can I start by the Vice President of Vaikunth Hydrotech? So, sir, what I'm trying to know about what is the policies still government is doing on the advanced biofuel. The reason I'm asking is recently we have been granted patent on converting the municipal solid waste into biofuel. Also, as you said about the hydrogen, we have some of the electrolyzers which can use 1 kg of hydrogen with only 42 kilowatt hours. So we have 5 I would request Minister to tell us what we are going to do with this. What will be our next step coming to you? Because I have a couple of times tried to come to you.
No, you're most welcome to come to us. And by us means I'll be happy to set up a presentation for you with not only people in the ministry but also the OMC, right? Because the intellectual property and the technology, as far as policy is concerned, I can share with you. had a policy which was, and I'm talking about a previous government, we want 5% biofuel blending in 10 states and union territories. Pawar was agriculture minister. We couldn't get it done. Total amount of biofuel blending we had in 2014 was 1.5% or something. Prime Minister announced biofuel blending by 2020. We did it 5 months back. He wanted 20% blending till 2026. Where will we go? I think we'll go forward. Where we will go forward, I cannot tell you just now, because earlier the constraint the feed had to make 20% 11 crore liters, 1100 crore liters. We are actually way past that now. We have plans for, we have a capacity of 1700 crore liters. We have almost 1500 crore liters supply likely. I don't normally like to speculate on something like this to the press, but since you've asked me a question, I can tell you we will be going and looking at more than 20% blending in the time to come. There's already a group set up under Niti Aayog and the concerned people who are looking at it.
We are presently importing about 2.4 million of oil. This costing about crores to India. So my question to you and to the ministers is that when we have a technology to convert the municipal waste, which we are producing a lot, and give you the figures.
No, I'm aware of that. So my answer to that is very simple. Nothing to prevent you from commercializing that. For instance, commercialize. What you do if you are Chief Minister, if you are elsewhere, tell us, tell the Niti Aayog, what is it that you want done from our side? I want to see all these pilot projects, because somebody comes saying, I've already produced a membrane-less electrolyzer. I said, but there's no point having it in the as a demonstration. What you need, let us know, we'll help you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We have already taken.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have already put Okay, thank you, sir, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have time for a few more questions, so we'll pass it on to the next one, please.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question, like how does India move forward towards the net zero commitment once it's going to pass the fossil fuels the maximum?
No, so far as net zero commitments are concerned, I have a simplistic understanding. We have net zero commitment as a nation, and then our OMCs have individual commitment. My recollection is that our OMC commitments are from 2035, 2040 and 2045. So all these fossil fuel producers, refiners, they will all be zero by 2045. Aapka 2045 hai? Huh? 38. ONGC is 2038. 40. 46, not 45. 2040. So we are 2038, 2046, 2040. It's a very massive for a country like India. People say, "Aapne kyun 2070?" Arey bhai, look at the developmental challenges we've got. But the great hallmark of India, especially now, is that when we make a commitment, it's a credible commitment. We'll show it. When he says 2045, 2047, Viksit Bharat.
Thank you, sir.
One more question. Yeah, gentleman in the blue jacket, please.
Hi, this is Professor Senthil Murugan from IIT Guwahati. Potential for Assam, particularly in a biomass. So it's a between the technology to convert biomass to, I mean, and I think we seek, center's vision, particularly setting up a special institute for converting biomass to a which is very, very important in Northeast. So do you have any plan for?
No, but you've given me a good idea. Look, I spent 7 years as housing and urban specialist. One of the greatest achievements, all the we produced. In 2014, we were able to comprehensively reprocess only 14. We need to reprocess 100% of that waste. Now, if we can utilize that waste, if I understand your question, to produce energy, this is one of the Prime Minister's highest priority. What you are saying, technology.
Yes.
Pankaj is here, and I think loud thinking. In one of our existing OMCs, in one of your, why don't you just set up a section just dealing with this technology? It'll be as good. Instead of setting IOCL, just accept it. You see, instead of setting a new institute, operational land में जहाँ काम हो रहा है, वहीं so IOCL is just so this can you can treat this as an announcement. Under IOCL, we have separate designated facility where precisely conversion of municipal waste in its forms can be addressed.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. My name is Debashri Henrik. I am a postgraduate student in Cotton University. Sir,
Can you please stand up?
Please. Yeah.
sir, my question to you is that how can young researchers and scholars and students also can contribute, collaborate with the public sector companies like IOCL or MGC in refining hydrogen and carbon capture?
Well, if the question is how can you collaborate with the OMCs, the answer is very simple. Get in touch with them. They are always telling me they are looking out for bright people who can come with ideas. They have different programs. There's an internship program which the Honorable Prime Minister has done. And I'm coming to that. That is general. But insofar as startups are concerned, these guys will be looking out for you. So, Priya here, all of them are here. That is the whole beauty of events like this. And even if the OMCs are, see my other younger colleagues, at the number 2 level, they're all go get their cards, bombard them with emails, with WhatsApp messages. It will work. I'm telling you, this is how contacts are made. This is how networking is done.
One last question and then we will close and we will make it quick, sir.
Sir, I'm a B.Tech student from Deepak University. My question is, you said hydrogen would boom if the price was came down from $4.5 to $2. So if my maths is correct, right now the price of dollar is about 87 Indian rupees. So in 4.5 it's like 400 rupees. But the calorific of hydrogen is more than petrol. So it's basically cancelling out. So why are we implementing hydrogen industries?
No. Let's not be too technical.
Yes.
My first point, which is the general point, is any energy commercial success, its viability depends on price. That's why the Prime Minister is always clear. I need to ensure availability everywhere. Well, no point my making it available if it's not affordable. So if you make it unaffordable, people will not utilize it. Why is my scheme for clean cooking gas working? Because it was only 5 rupees a day for the beneficiary of Ujjwala to utilize it. Now, why did I give the figure of 4.5 to 2? The figure is not the way you are calculating. The figure is I'm spending $150 million. That's what is in the back of your mind. Like today it is 96 or 97, I don't know where. Huh?
87. 87.
Huh? I'm sorry, not 97, 87. If the dollar is 87, most what the exchange rate is. This my point is, I'm not importing anything. The capacity to manufacture the electrolyzer is a domestic capacity. Does not need to be importing. The capacity, the breakthrough I've done wet trials on pump storage, it's solid domestic. So irrespective of what happens, and calorific value per, we can have a separate discussion. hydrogen, believe me, is the game changer. Biofuel to बढ़ जाएगा. अभी Brazil used to be, I used to be ambassador to Brazil many years ago, about 20 years ago. They were recently at 27% biofuel blending. They're taking it to 35% biofuel blending. When I went there first time, they told me, Ambassador, if you move to biofuels, we can make an OPEC like for biofuels, US, Brazil, India. Now we've got a global biofuels alliance. The point I want to make to all of you, young technical people, is look at what's happening. See how you can contribute to that evolving ecosystem and how you can contribute towards making that a success.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I'm sure there are tons of other questions, but unfortunately we are at the top of the hour that we had. Honorable Minister, once again, a very, very big thank you from everybody in the room for your fantastic vision, leadership, and your insights during the panel, and really, really appreciate your...
I'd like to request the CEO of Adani Total Gas Limited, Shri Suresh Manglani, to also join the Honorable CM on the stage. I would now like to request the Honorable Minister of Assam to address the gathering.
Honorable Minister Sri Hardeep Singh Puri ji, Sri Pankaj Jain, Secretary Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Sri Arun Kumar, CMD ONGC, Dr. Ranjit Roth, CMD Oil India Limited, Sri Bhaskar Jyoti Phukan, MD NRL, Dr. Stephen Sam Agar, Head of Exploration, Kerin Vedanta, Sri Sogata Ghosh, Director and Country Head, Matheson Hydrogen Private Limited, Sri Suresh, CEO Adani Total Gas Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to speak a long speech. I just thanks Honorable Minister Sri Hardeep Singh Puri ji for coming all the way to attend this summit and encourage us with vision for hydrocarbon. Sir, I'd like to thank you. You have always encouraged us to work more for the country, and because of your leadership, Oil India Limited and Numaligarh Refinery Limited is working jointly with the Government of Assam with huge vision. In fact, Numaligarh is going to complete its refinery by 2025. And along with that, the refinery which will convert bamboo to ethanol will also be ready soon. Yesterday, in my address before the Honorable Prime Minister, I have said that how Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has decided to lay down 1600-kilometer pipeline from Paradip to Numaligarh so that we can enhance the capacity of refinery. Those who are sitting with us, we still remember there was a time when there was agitation in Assam. We said that we will not allow our crude to go out. But today, you have changed the narrative completely. We are bringing crude from Paradip through the sign you installed for the people of Assam. And today, Numaligarh is running from 3 million metric ton to 9 million metric ton. All the 6 million metric ton crude oil is coming from Paradip. That is your leadership, that is the leadership of Prime Minister. In the last Advantage Assam Summit, Ministry of Petroleum has also announced that they will bring a gas grid from Barauni to Numaligarh, again 600 kilometer gas grid. Although Assam is contributing 14% of total gas production in India, but with the growing industrialization of Assam, the commitment of city gas, our domestic production is maybe simply 7 to 8% of total requirement. So you have gas grid, 1600 kilometer of pipeline, again blasting a myth that it is Assam gas is being utilized elsewhere in the country. We are bringing gas from elsewhere in the country and international market for the development of Assam. So that's the commitment Ministry of Petroleum has shown to us. Under your extraordinary leadership, Oil India Limited has commissioned India's first green hydrogen plant in Jorhat with 10 kilogram per day. And today, both Oil India Limited and ONGC is showing renewed commitment for increasing exploration activity and also setting up a lot of downstream activity for development of this region. Sir, I'd like to reassure that Government of Assam will continuously working with you. And, we are also opening the oil and gas for exploration by the different organization. In fact, yesterday Mr. Anil Agarola was there. He has committed that he that he will put 5,000 crore in the city gas distribution, so that has distribution in the entire country. Has shown a huge commitment, and today also commitment from ONG. Sir, the last request, whenever it will be possible, I hope that we will be able to expand Bongaigaon refinery too. We will discuss that, and I am sure that will also I'd like to see that during this year, if you can come down to Numaligarh with Honorable Prime Minister to inaugurate our bamboo ethanol refinery, that will be my request. Another request, Government of India has announced that they are going to set up a new fertilizer plant in Bongaigaon. You have allowed Oil India Limited to participate in the joint venture. So when that foundation stone will be there, Honorable PM will come. I'll request you and Honorable PM both to come down to Naharkatia and stay one night in Duliajan with Oil India Limited so that our people can where Assam economy lies. Thank you so much, sir.
Before I don't need any. I'll come. There's no issue there. But I also told you as this great project the Chief Minister, I asked my colleague, बताओ क्या proposal आने वाला है? So already positive response आपको चला गया है. We will announce it later. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Kindly remain seated. Thank you. We have a very dynamic panel discussion coming up in a short while. Please kindly remain seated. And we have team guest speakers here with us who's going to join the panel. And the discussion will be moderated by consultant. So we have 10 minutes for the and join us for the discussion. Thank you. I'd also like to invite Shri Bhaskar Jyoti Phukon. Head of Exploration, K. Vedanta. Country Head, Metsun Hydrogen Private Limited. Please kindly join us. I'd also like to request Mr. Arpan Gupta, Director and Head, Mines, Minerals, Energy and Hydrocarbons, FICCI, to please kindly come onto the stage and felicitate Sir. I'd also like to invite our speaker, Shri Suresh Manglani, CEO Adani Total Gas Limited. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce once again the moderator for this panel discussion. That's Shri Costa Verma, Managing Director and Partner, Boston Consulting Group. And I'd like to request Arpan sir to felicitate the moderator as well. Sir, please. It's over to you, Kostov sir.
Hello. I think we can get started to the second slot of this very special panel discussion on unlocking Assam's energy potential. And having known many of the members on the panel, I can't think of a better panel to come together to discuss the hydrocarbon sector in Assam. Assam is the second largest crude producer in the country. It is the largest natural gas producer. It has 23% of India's crude oil reserves and 15% of India's natural gas reserves. It is home to 4 of the 23 refineries, and it has a significant pipeline network with tremendous E&P potential, as well as we heard from the minister in the last session. So welcome everyone on this panel. I'd like to start with So Oil India has been in the state for the last 66 years, recently celebrated its foundation day as well. And right from the first well, it was drilled in it has been transformative to the overall energy potential in Assam. How do you see oil and gas in the state, and specifically the plan for Assam as far as India's energy security is concerned?
First of all, and years, if I give reference to 1889, of course, then it was not Oil India Limited, it was Assam Railway Trading Corporation, and then it was a JV with Government of India. And then as late as could be in 2023, we became the Maharatna Central Public Sector Undertaking under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The ask is very simple, as Honorable Minister at least for next 3 decades. So we have outlined our enhanced exploration program. In terms of our capital investment, this year it will be about 6,800 crore worth rupees. And as part of our MOU with the government of Assam here, yesterday we signed that MOU as part of Advantage Assam. Our next is about 20,000 crore as part of our efforts for exploration and production. Now, just to give you a flavor, we were first when we started, you gave a reference to Digboi. We were drilling something like 50 meters and we were getting oil. Today, Oil India Limited for the gathering here is drilling 5,500 meter to establish and to bring the hydrocarbon molecules to the surface. Recently, we have got some success in the North Bank, and Oil India has got significant presence in terms of its focused attention on gas-based economy. So we would continue to be the anchor entity as part of the Northeast Hydrocarbon 2016, and NRL is a major subsidiary. So I would leave the NRL part to the NRL.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rath, for your views. I will move the panel to Bhaskar Jyoti Phukan, MD NRL. So, Honorable Minister also mentioned about it. I think now it's on everybody's calendars, the 6 million ton go live for the 6 million ton go live. How do you see NRL's portfolio in Assam with the expansion of the refinery, with the foray into petchem, also the biorefinery now? There is a lot happening, and would want to get your perspectives in terms of how this
thank you for having me here and giving the opportunity to speak to particularly the young crowd and a galaxy of executives here. See, NRL, as has been told by Minister, is we are expanding from 6 to 9. That means our street actually. But while doing so, our strategy, we know that we have expanded the refinery at a time when transition is happening. So it would be wise to have a refinery which is nimble. The refineries are generally not nimble actually. It's like you can do it in Excel form. You put have the products coming. So with some bit of tweaking you can have. Otherwise, you have to have cushion in your downstream, which is not a good idea to have. That means you become energy. Anything that you have a cushion built in. Suppose you have a hydrocracker. Instead of that, you can put it into a PFCC. If you have lot of cushion, you can reduce your diesel production and go for MS production. That is not a good idea. Some of the refiners have tried, but found themselves to be energy inefficient. So what we have really done, we have created a new refinery which is nimble. Today, if there is a deficit in demand, people are talking about betting on which the oil will peak. So therefore, we are very acutely conscious. We are in a way we will have many molecules coming from the refinery, and potentials are unlimited. Having said that, we have also invested in biorefinery as has been of having ethanol coming from bamboo that use this source, and also some very smart chemicals will come out of that particular plant. Third, we are also trying to become an anchor customer for the hydrogen. Basically, hydrogen into mobility is a challenge, but hydrogen into industry, the green hydrogen, because we are using hydrogen, that hydrogen has to be replaced by green hydrogen. That is where we are there. Actually, we are putting a 17 megawatt electrolyzer already. It is under construction. We are also looking for a partner to put up a plan to give us 10,000 metric ton of green hydrogen. That is where we are.
Thank you so much. I think one of the things that we touched upon in the last session was exploration, and I'm going to come to Sam Algar, exploration and has been in the state for a while. Sometimes it's been great, but there are also some unlocks which are required from an overall ENP perspective in this state. Wanted to hear your perspectives, Dr.
state of Assam and everyone who's made this amazing conference happen. As you can tell, I've come from abroad. I've attended many conferences around the world, and it's really heartening to see the energy from the people, as well as the young people especially. I've had a lot of people come up to me and have a chat earlier on. They're so powerful. So the energy you have between people and the state and the country is absolutely amazing. So yes, we need to harness that. So personally speaking, that's part of the reason I came to India. I have been frustrated in other parts of the world about the lack of investment, the lack of belief in how we the Energy Minister did very well earlier on. Well, we need to pursue many different avenues. So we're very supportive of all of the green initiatives. That it's very important to continue to explore and produce for oil and gas. At Cairn roots are in exploration. We are a company that was founded by scientists, and we are very focused on ensuring that we understand what's going on with the rocks. And we are at a relatively early stage in our adventure in Assam. We've introduced gas domestically into a local market which supplies the and Chairman Anil Agarwal announced yesterday an MOU to invest very significant sums into Assam. And why is that? We're a company that has a portfolio across all of India, from the deep water to the deserts of Rajasthan. But I see Assam as being one of the key areas for us to explore. So we have a number of initiatives which focus on the environment, and they focus on ensuring that people whose habitats we're working in and that we're working in are also preserved. So for us, it's not just about exploration and production, it's also about preserving and protecting. Exploration. So we've been doing a lot of work recently. This year we've drilled 4 exploration wells. I'm very pleased to say that we have made recently 1 oil discovery. And that well. And so that will be a big step forward. We're also acquiring a lot of data. Historically, we acquired the satellite-based and airborne-based data, and we're integrating that. We have brought in a number of international scientists to ensure that we have the best capabilities to give ourselves the best chance. I look at Assam, and I think I've worked in many thrust belts around the world, both onshore and offshore. Clearly, there's a lot of oil and gas that's been found, but I think there's a lot more potential. So our role is to be really aggressive and bring on as soon as we can. So refineries which are being developed. So I look forward to being part of this journey with the state, and I think everyone in the state, and I look forward to working with you and collaboratively at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Algar. The good part about this panel is that we have great representation across all aspects of the value chain. So I'll come to Mr. Suresh Manglani, who is the CEO for Adani Total Gas Limited. We recently saw the inauguration of 2 CGDs, rather the groundbreaking, and I wouldn't call them CGD, but CGS. Adani Total Gas has been expanding in the region, but what do you think from an overall consumer perspective? I mean, city gas, CNG stations, PNG stations, and so on and so forth. Where is the limit, or is there no limit at all?
Thank you, Costa. And thanks, organizers, for having Adani Total Gas on this Esteemed platform. I also want to, compliment Honorable Dynamic Chief Minister and his team for holding such a successful event. And the more important was that having such a large delegation, every touch point, the kind of hospitality we are seeing. In fact, today morning we went to the temple, Kamakhya Devi, and the way we were received, entire darshan was done, and we were, came back in a hotel. The tourism department, temple committee was in action. So it's like a festival going on. It's some wedding festival. It looks like the way every team is working. Coming to Assam potential. The regulator PNGRB has already granted the licenses for developing city gas distribution. For that matter, the licenses have been granted for all of India except the Andaman. The rest entire country license will be granted. We total along with our JV partner with IOCL, we are having to develop city gas distribution. In Assam, Adani Total Gas has responsibility to service 16 districts, roughly 1.2 million homes. We will also be setting up more than 50 kilometers of a pipeline shall be laid by us. So from that perspective, we are a last mile provider. We have already, you all saw, we already started the work in a full swing. Our city gas distributions are being developed. Assam actually is a blessed state, as you also gave the data. The gas is already flowing. Almost 13 million gas is flowing in Assam. The oil is already flowing. So from the perspective of Assam going upward, there is no other way but Assam will be rising from here onwards. On every perspective, whether it is upstream, midstream or downstream, the way we are going to be developing along with Assam gas also is there. So I think the prospects are very, very attractive. As our chairman yesterday said, Gautam Bhai, that 3,000 crore in Assam, out of which 5,000 crore will be invested by Adani Total Gas in 4 different areas. Major investment will go in city gas distribution. We will also be investing in e-mobility, setting up EV charging station in Assam. We will also be setting up biogas plants, CBG plants, biomass plants, wherever we see the, now currently we are studying the various areas in Assam. And also, once we see the opportunities, we will also set up LNG station for LNG for transport. So in all these 4 in the coming years, Adani will invest 5,000 crore rupees, of which investment pipeline has already started from our side. Has been one of the very progressive state. Immediately after grant of licenses, Assam was the first state to come out with progressive CGD policy. Now that policy gives us a very good, ecosystem to lay the pipeline, set up the station. They have put in the policy itself that if a permission is not granted by, let's say, 30 days, it will be deemed to be permitted. Now this is a first state where such have come, that where if the officials are not granting permissions, we can go ahead. So I'm saying from that perspective, they have been very progressive. We have been also discussing that for making the oil and gas sector successful and using maximum gas and oil within the country, which maximum gas being produced within a sector. So to achieve that, we have been discussing and engaging with the government that they have to set up, and which they are doing it now, large number of industrial park. The way a lot of industrial parks are to be set up, and then MSME, the medium, small and enterprises, have to be encouraged to utilize the gas. So we have been talking to several states, including for MSME to use the gas. Otherwise, they will be using some cheaper pollutant fuel. Like Assam has come out with the productivity linked incentive of 25,000 crore. Assam government should take a step of encouraging consumption linked incentive for MSME. Once the CLI comes into picture, which we are hopeful that Assam will be taking a first lead, you will see every MSME using gas, and that will enhance the significant prospects for Assam to use the gas which is being produced here, and which will be further enhanced within the Assam. So that there are very, very good prospects of the Assam grow on the oil and gas side.
Fantastic. Wonderful to hear the views in terms of the entire gas spectrum. And as many of our young ones would know, that we are aiming to become 15% of consumption, primary energy consumption, we want to contribute to gas, and those steps will play a big way to the entire. Just, I think more area of potential in the state is hydrogen, with a refining capacity and a current refining capacity close to about 7.5 MTPA and another 6 MTPA being added. My question to Mr. Swagata Ghosh, who is the director and India head for Motherson Hydrogen Limited, wanted to understand your perspectives in terms of what will it take to convert Assam into hydrogen hub for India. Because like MD NRL said, that here you have the demand already captive. It is about just converting it from grey hydrogen to green hydrogen. So there can be a potential use case that can be exploited.
Yeah, so thank you for having me, Koso. So question on hydrogen, how we can make Assam a bigger player in hydrogen. So obviously we have grey hydrogen projects that go with every refinery and refinery expansion. But that being said, the two low carbon hydrogen areas that currently the world is looking at is green hydrogen. So I think, these refineries and the other industries could be encouraged to utilize green hydrogen through some sort of a subsidy mechanism, right? That's one for green hydrogen. Green hydrogen today remains economically challenged. The Honorable Minister also pointed out. So some sort of incentive program is needed for consumption, to promote consumption of green hydrogen. Secondly, the other area of low carbon hydrogen is blue hydrogen, which requires, sequestration potential for the CO2 from the hydrogen plants. And I think that's where Assam 50% production of oil and gas from Assam, obviously, to store the CO2 from these hydrogen plants and ammonia plants, which could easily turn some of these existing hydrogen and ammonia into hydrogen and ammonia. So that's something which Assam is uniquely placed to, to enjoy that potential. And the third thing is that because of, a huge biomass potential in Assam, Assam could promote the usage of biomass for making CBG. So there are already schemes which are existing. And the CBG can in turn be utilized in new or existing conventional hydrogen plants to make green hydrogen. So I think these are the three potential areas where I see, Assam growing, apart from the conventional space of, grey hydrogen, which comes along with each refinery expansion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Ghosh. Great to hear those views. I'm going to go off script a little bit and surprise the panelists. How many students? Yeah. So, that was well planned. Yeah, a lot of, literally 70% of the room, for those of you who are sitting in the front, they couldn't see the raise of hands. 70% of the room is students. And my one common question to all the panelists would be, I wouldn't talk about the technicalities of being or a hydrogen player or a city gas player. I want to get panel's perspective on the potential for some of these students. There are so many sectors out there. There is fintech, there is retail, there is multiple other sectors. Applause for this question, please, because I think that should happen on many people's minds.
First of all, it's so heartening to see about 70% of the students in the hall, and it is very, very impressive and of your interest, not only in Advantage Assam per se, Assam as a destination for investment, but specifically in the session on trust me, as an ENP company, the kick one gets when you get hydrocarbon from a depth of 5,000 meter. That's unbelievable. So my pitch would be that pursue your studies, whatever courses you are following, be part of the energy narrative of the country. And you are in a state where things are happening, and continue to happen, but not necessarily that you need to be in the state. The opportunity in India and abroad is plenty. We are talking about a segment of energy value chain where both innovation in terms of green hydrogen and its cost reduction, in terms of application of AI and ML in finding hydrocarbon exists, in terms of supply chain management, when we are talking about reaching to the last mile home for supplying natural gas, and above all, again I repeat, being an E&P company I represent, the kick to get hydrocarbon on the surface is unbelievable. So stay focused, pursue your studies, sky is your limit.
In the ministerial session, somebody asked about the hydrogen potential, hydrogen as a potential fuel because it has high density, high energy density. See, having high energy density is one thing, but the one liter of hydrogen only weighs around 100 grams. So therefore, you have to carry hydrogen is a challenge. Therefore, these challenges are actually opportunities for you. Every challenge that is posed for the new energy is an opportunity for you. As CMD Oil India has already told, that next decade will be the efficiency decade. Actually, all the oil companies will become more and more efficient are going to come. So even people are not from the oil, that chemical engineering side, they will have an opportunity to get associated with traditional oil and gas companies to increase their efficiency by adoption of the new technologies. This is one part of it. Second, the hydrocarbon is not going to go in a hurry. And you will not be surprised if you see the refineries producing some of the pharmaceutical ingredients. See, the sky is the the molecules that that can be produced from a refinery is amazing actually. You can produce anything that you think about. And you can produce from the refinery. So refinery A, the trend is that they will chase more and more valuable hydrocarbon chemicals apart from valuable hydrocarbons. That is the way forward. They will chase the efficiency. So there are ample scope for all of you to get associated with this stream of business. That's all.
Yeah, please.
So I think already CMD Oil and CMD in NRL have covered the large part of it. But as a student, I will put certain things perspectively. Just see what is happening in, let's say, transport fuel. You have HSD, you have MS, you have got CNG, CBG, EV, then you have got hydrogen coming up, E100 vehicle, E20 vehicle, and several other DMA is being talked about it. Several another fuels are coming. You see industrial fuel, you see commercial fuel, everywhere you will find so many exciting times are going on. So as a student, I think if you are in energy sector a student, you would find this sheer inquisitivity to see what's going on will retain you in the field. And then about the opportunity side, CEO also said there are ample opportunities. Honorable Minister said if a country's growth has to be measured by energy consumption, we can see world around what is going on. And if you were in the India Energy Week, you would have seen the kind of expatriate participation in India Energy Week, and in this some advantage participation from various countries will tell you there is a huge potential live aside the world in India on the energy side. So stay, you will have a very good opportunity whether you want to come on side where we are working side, or on a startup side, or on an associated field like Kaustubh said, fintech and any other thing. Large number of opportunities are available to you. Keep specializing yourself. Don't become MBBS. Become specialized doctors of energy sector. Thank you.
Maybe if I could just compliment some of those comments there, being an expatriate myself. It's so heartening to come to a country where there is such enthusiasm for energy development. It's needed, so why should you be part of that? Because you're part of your country's future. And as my honourable colleagues have said, that future may take a variety of forms. If you train as an engineer, you can work on oil and gas, you can work on hydrogen, you can work on any different kind of fuel. I've been living in Australia for the last couple of years. There's an enormous transition going on there. What I saw there was people who've been working in oil and gas companies for many years. They're now training to do something slightly different. So your security is there. So don't be afraid. Keep going into this. And I think that the other thing is that India is fast becoming the source of the most technically knowledgeable, intelligent youth in the entire world. What I'm seeing, don't clap me, clap them. What I'm seeing is that the rest of the world is switching on to the opportunity that the youth have here. And you see the likes of BP, Chevron, Exxon, ourselves indeed, are pulling in new graduates, trying to get them trained up. And for us at least, they're going to work on India initially, but there's opportunities to work elsewhere. But don't hold back. There's a lot of potential, not just here in Assam, but throughout the whole world.
Yeah, so I'd like just to tell you that there are certain earth-changing events that are happening right now, and I see major trends. You heard about quantum computing and these things, Second thing which will happen probably in our lifetime is massive advancements in biotech. The third thing, which is an opportunity, actually it kind of presents as a challenge but also as an opportunity, is global warming, right? And I think probably 18, 20-year-old, right, thereabouts. And in your lifetime, there's going to be a massive transition from conventional fuels to alternative energy fuels, right? And that kind of presents a unique opportunity for India, because India never had, massive resources of oil and gas. We have some, and obviously we are trying to exploit them. But once it comes to the renewable space, it's a level playing field with anybody, So we don't have to depend on, let's say, Saudi Arabia or any other country to send us oil. It is a level playing field, and I think in the next 50 years, a country which can focus on R&D, which can focus on its applications, will move forward. So I think for all of you, this third lifetime trend, energy, is an extremely exciting one, and I encourage all of you to latch onto it and work on it. Thank you.
So, just one. I think as you gave a surprise, let me give one surprise to them. So those of you who want to work for us, meet us. We are here only. Don't worry. Thank you.
Okay, I guess that was the key takeaway from the session for many people. But just apart, I think fantastic to hear this very, very illustrious panel. The key message is out loud that energy doesn't bring prosperity. Energy is prosperity. And Assam is probably the top-ranked state as far as all forms of energy is concerned. I would once again like to thank all my esteemed panelists for sharing their views on both the technical aspects and the people aspects of this fantastic sector. And yeah, we don't have time for any audience questions, but thank you for being patient listeners. And with that, we come to the close of this panel. And yeah, have a good rest of Advantage Assam. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'd like to extend our heartfelt gratitude and thank all our expert panelists for their wonderful insights. Also like to thank the moderator for running this session so well. Thank you, sir. thank you all for your valuable participation. Let us all continue to drive innovation, investment, and progress in Assam's energy sector. Also, I'd like to let you all know to please collect your kit bags on your way out, and we have lunch for all of you at the Barak Hall, and also like to urge all of you to please visit the exhibition area. So thank you everyone, and have a wonderful day ahead.